Mark Penn joins us now to explain. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
You've got a pretty interesting op-ed in the Wall Street Journal with Andrew Stein. Why don't you lay out the case why you think Hillary Clinton will get into this 2020 battle?
Well, as you know, officially now the parlor game of who's going to be the 2020 nominee begins today. And I think don't underestimate Hillary's positioning to run again. She's got a 75% approval among Democrats. She's positioned herself with the core of the Democratic base. A lot of Democrats think she was unfairly denied winning the last presidential race. And I think she's going to sit back, see how this develops. You've already seen what happened when some of the potential nominees stood up at the Kavanaugh hearing and they looked like amateurs. She's a pro and she learns, and Clintons never stop until they get where they want to go. And I say don't count her out. And if she gets in, she will be quite formidable.
And you say, Mark, in the pages of the Wall Street Journal, she will run maybe not at first when the legions of Senate Democrats make the announcements, but definitely by the time the primaries are in full swing. Is it thinking that, everybody will come out with a burst of publicity and then they'll just fade, and then at the last minute she'll come in and she'll go, hey, wait a minute, I can save this party. I'm the only true Democrat here.
Well, I think, as every Democratic potential nominee will learn, the year that is the run-up to the first primary is the most miserable year of presidential campaigning. And I think she'll try to skip as much of that as possible. Bill Clinton got in late. I think even John F. Kennedy got in late. And I think that if she does go, it will be because no one emerges as a clear front runner. Right. It looks like the party is splintered in lots of different ways, and she can come in, re-energize the core of the Democratic base, take the nomination, and have the biggest rematch in history with probably the biggest voter turnout in history based on that.
You brought up the Democrats like her, 75% approval rating. The current administration, this president, has a very high approval rating amongst Republicans. What do you think it would look like if they did run against each other again?
Well, interestingly, they have almost the same images nationally. Right now, I think that on a personal favorable basis, the president is at about 40, she's at about 40. It's just a different 40% of the country, right? Leaving that 20% in the middle again to fight this out. And both of them have 80, 90% ratings among their bases. So they have mirror opposite identifications.
Yep. And
you would see this rematch. Presumably she would learn that maybe she could take back some of those Midwestern voters if this is what comes to pass. President Trump, I think, would find that she's a much more formidable second-time opponent. We'll see what actually happens. Well, but I think this is pretty reasonable as a speculation of what could very well happen.
Well,
here.
Speculation, but Kellyanne Conway has already tweeted, basically, please let this be true.
Oh, I don't think she really wants it to be true. No, I think they want to run against Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. I think Hillary Clinton would be a lot more formidable.
What about
Biden?
Biden, a lot of Democrats like Biden.
Biden is a strong, I think, potential nominee. He's about 30%. He's the only person, I think, who's grown out of the teens right now. We'll see what happens. I think he would most likely defer to her again if she got in, or she'd get in if he didn't catch on.
Mark Penn on Hillary 4.0. Sir, thank you very much.
Check it out.